Hello everybody and welcome back down the creek. So today we're going to be talking about this rod holder. I put it on and I have my mount set up, but this is substantially heavier than the rod mount that I put on before. Plus it'll have rods and we'll be trolling. And I don't like this flex problem. So I found a solution and we're going to be going over how to fix that problem today. Okay guys, so this is our issue here, is it's a 90-degree mount which mounts back here, but there's no support, so you get a lot of flex. So I found that if I take a bolt that I have in a rubber piece and I run this through and give it support. Now I'm not going to tighten this all the way down, right? But the pressure makes it better. It gives it that support it needs, and as this tightens up, it gets less and less and less. And once I get the right amount of pressure on there, then it doesn't really move much. But this sticks out the top. So I figured out a solution on how to fix it. And we're going to take this off the boat and move over to the bench so you can see. So I'm going to get this off and I'll see you on the bench. So while I do that, why don't you take a look at upside. Hi guys, we're going to take a pause from today's video and talk about one of the three certainties in life. If you're an outdoorsman like me, you know that the three certainties in life are death, taxes, and this hobby is expensive. I try and save money any way I can, and one of the ways that I save money is the Upside app. I use it to get cash back on fuel purchases that I'm going to make anyway. And it's really simple and easy to use. If you take a look at this screenshot that I just threw up, you can see that I earn real money, right? I've actually earned real money. And it's really simple to use. All I have to do is open the app, select the fuel station that I want to use, link a card that I'm going to use to fuel up, use that card and fuel, and then claim my rebate. After that, Upside does all the work. They go get your cash rebate and load it back onto your account where you can cash it in and redeem it for either cash back to your card or gift cards that they list below. If you haven't used it, if you don't use Upside to save money, then you're crazy. So follow the link below or download the Upside app and use my code, and we'll be able to both save a little bit of extra money on that first purchase. So thanks for watching, guys, and let's get back into the action here. Okay, so I'm over on the workbench, and right now my setup is as follows. I've got a downrigger plate, and then I have the mounting plate for the rod holders affixed to the downrigger plate, which I had to do by basically modifying this. This downrigger plate takes an M6 screw, so my current setup was this here basically. I took an M6 long bolt, an M6 nut on the end, and then I would press down on this rubber O-ring which comes from a trolling motor, but I want something more permanent. So I'm going to get rid of this long one because it sticks way out, and I got an M6 one, but it's only an inch long. So it's just the right amount to touch the metal, right? So we don't need to go that far. I'll probably put a washer on this as well, which I have. But my idea is to get rid of the long bolt, replace it with one that's going to screw all the way in, and then put this on the end. This is a solid piece of rubber, right? I'm going to drill a hole down the center, and I'm going to cut this down some and make it shorter. So that's my plan. So let's put that to practice. Okay, so while I was on the boat, I kind of marked where I needed to cut this down to, and I'm going to try to cut this with a razor knife, and that's going to work. So I'm just going to cut this down, right? It doesn't have to be perfect. So it's not as thick. Right, now I'm going to put 2 in each holder because I have both sides. So we're gonna cut each one of these down to roughly the same size. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. There'll be some adjustability in the screw itself. So that's pretty darn close. Okay, so I have my 4 pieces of rubber cut down to the size that I think I want them. Now I can trim them if I need to. Now I bought this in case I wanted some adjustability, but I don't think I really need it. Right? I think for the most part I want to go down about this far. Right? Because I don't want to go all the way. I want to have some downforce. So we're going to pick the right size drill bit now with what I'm trying to do. And it's going to be a 3/16 because I want it to be snug. So I'm putting my 3/16 on, and then I want to mark my depth so that I don't over drill these because I don't want to go all the way through the rubber. So how I'm going to do that is I'm going to pick my depth, right, and I'm going to put a piece of tape on my drill bit so I don't over drill it. So I wanted to go about that deep. Let me get a piece of tape. Okay, so I'll figure out where I want it. I want it like right there. I'm going to just put a piece of tape on the drill bit. Like so. And that's simply it. So now I'm just going to drill very slowly right in the center. I want to center it the best I can. It wants to walk on me. And then I'm going to do all 4. Okay, so I bought some nuts just in case, but I'm going to try and use without them. So basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put screws in here and then a screw in here. And this is going to be my support. I don't want to screw it all the way tight, right? And then this is going to go in here. Like so. So that's the basic idea, is that, right? And what I'll do is I'll screw this up all the way. Now we'll mount it to the boat and I'll tighten these down, and that should put the pressure that we need on there. So something like that. So I'm going to move back over to the boat. Okay, so we're back over to the boat. These are the screws there. So this goes in here. Like so. And then these go on. Okay, so now it's just a matter of tightening these up here to compress it. So I have a ratchet. That's not the right size, so let me get the right size. Alright, so I got the right size now. So I drilled, remember I drilled a hole here. So I'm not really putting any pressure yet. What I'm doing is I'm driving that deeper into that rubber grommet. What I want to do is seat this all the way down. Alright. Man. Now, that is solid. It is super solid on there. So, what happens when we add this back on there? Because this is going to give it some leverage, right? Because it's long. So, we're going to screw this back on there. Huge difference. That's much more sturdy. Like, I'm moving the whole side of the boat. Make sure it's tight. Oh yeah, it's tight. Perfect, 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 perfect. Well guys, now I have a super strong connection. Super strong. I mean, it still moves a little bit, but I mean, I feel much better about that. I almost want to hang on. I don't know if I'd hang off it, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like the force of the rods pulling on this thing isn't going to wiggle it loose. You just make sure that everything stays tight, right? And it'll be good to go. So if you get one of these rod holders and you have a Versatrack or a 90-degree track, or even like any track, if you want to mount these to your rail, all you need is the adapter plate for a downrigger, and you can modify it with the mounting plate from the Millennium Marine to fit, and then it's just a matter of getting something on here to make it super sturdy. So that's how we're going to do it. Okay guys, so I'm back at the workbench. I have one more to do, and I'm not going to bore you guys with watching the process all over again. I'm going to do the exact same thing and make sure it works for the other side. So that's it for today's video. I hope that if you decide to do this project, you can do kind of what I did. So real quick on what I used the Hillman hex cap screws, M6 by 1 inch by 30. I also used Hillman rubber stopper 1 by 25 by 32 by 1. So that's what these are. I trimmed them down to fit. So if you can find some smaller ones that can work, but they didn't have any, this is all they had at the hardware store when I was there. I used a drill bit, I measured the depth, and I made it work. So I'm just going to do this one up the exact same way, putting these in the exact same holes and doing everything the same. So thanks for watching. I hope today's video helped. I'm really happy with these Millennium Marine products. You can really modify your plates if you have a 90-degree Versatrack or a 45-degree, which I think the Lund uses or whatever. If you get a downrigger plate adapter for your track, you can modify it to do this if you have a little know-how and handiwork. So thanks for watching to the end, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Get out there and live, guys, and we'll catch you next time here at On the Creek.